Hello and welcome back to my channel, and a special hello to those of you that are new here. Today we are doing something I have never done before, and that is we are doing a 24-hour readathon. Now I'm going to be splitting this 24 hours between 12 hours today, 12 hours tomorrow, but the goal is not about reading as much as we possibly can. The goal is to try and get the enjoyment and the joy out of reading again, because 2025 was essentially kind of one big reading slump for me. I flitted between being absolutely obsessed, reading lots, to being in huge reading slumps, and it absolutely sucked. And this year I am determined to find that inner joy, my reason why about reading again, because I miss that and it sucks to not have it anymore. So that's the plan for today's video. I was planning on having a whole sort of stack of TBR that we were potentially gonna mood read from and see how we get on, but I decided to start one book, and that one book may take me an entire 24 hours to read because it's an absolute chunk. But that book is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. It is a chunk. It is an absolute chunk. I did actually download it on Kindle as well, and it's saying that it's going to take me 22 hours to read on Kindle. But also, we know I am not very good at just sitting in one spot for hours and hours and hours on end and reading a book. I move a lot, I fidget a lot, my brain will randomly get distracted and will go, right, okay, we need to do this or something like that. And so I needed to make sure we had a safety net in place so that I could keep reading and keep that timer going even when things like that happen. So we downloaded the dramatized audio, both part 1 and part 2 for this book, for that purpose. So I have both of them lined up, ready to go. Unfortunately, they are both 12 hours long. So I'm not entirely sure how many books we're going to get read in this challenge. And to be honest, like I said, it doesn't really matter because it's about finding that enjoyment for reading again. Would I like to get more than one book read so that it's less boring for you guys? Yes, of course I would. Again, we're not putting that kind of pressure on ourselves. So I'm just going to read it and see what I think. And we'll see where we get up to. Now, this book has been on my TBR for the longest time. The longest time, and I have not picked it up for one reason and one reason only. I absolutely loved ACOTAR. It was an amazing series. It was the book series that got me into fantasy. Absolutely loved it. Obsessed. I then heard that Throne of Glass was insane. Everybody absolutely loved it, and I was like, right, okay, I need to read Throne of Glass. I just need to read it. I read it, and yes, it was good, but for me, it didn't live up to the hype that everybody gave it. It wasn't every book is absolutely amazing. I found that as the series went on, the books got bigger, the more filler there was in there that just kind of bored me a little bit. And yes, some of the books were 5 stars, like Queen of Shadows and Kingdom of Ash. Absolutely insane. Loved them. They were amazing. But every time I read a book, I ended up in a book slump afterwards, and because all 3 of the Crescent City books are this chunky, I panic and get anxious that they're going to do the exact same to me. So that's why I've put them off for so long. No longer. We are going to tackle this beast. The way I'm going to do it is I am going to start the audio, and I am actually going to spine train this bad boy because I would actually like to read as much of this on physical as I can. Like I say, I do have the Kindle as well. I went all out. I got all 3 formats for this video. So I will be swapping and changing between them. We're going to audio, we're going to spine train the book, and then we're going to sit and we're going to read a little bit and see how we get on. So let's go. Hello. So it's been a while since I spoke to you. It's actually been, wait, how long has it been? Well, the time is now at 17 hours and 44 minutes. So a really long time. Wait, what is that in time? 6 hours, it's been 6 hours, 15 minutes. And the reason that I have not checked in with you much is because I decided to go live on TikTok so that I could read with everyone and kind of have some people cheer me on, keeping me going. could have little chat breaks as and when I kind of felt like I needed them. So that's what I've been doing, and I have read a huge chunk of this. I am at 350 pages, so I did think originally that I was going to potentially finish this by the end of today. I don't think I'm going to, because yeah, I'm not halfway yet and we're 6 hours into today. But anyway, I have been immersive audioing it, which is a new experience. I actually got the graphic audio for the book because I thought, why not? And I love a graphic audio. Like when I was listening to Zodiac Academy, so good. So I thought, you know what, we're gonna do it. So I have been listening to it at 2.2 times speed, I think, because that's the kind of comfortable speed I can listen to it whilst reading. And I've been doing pretty well. So I'm now going to be reading on my Kindle, doing some more immersive reading. And I've turned my reading room into kind of like a cozy setup because all the lights and everything they've given me a really bad headache. I don't look the greatest, and I've kind of just ended up putting my hair up, however, because this is harder than I thought it was going to be. And we are on track to be quite late today. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to get back into it. So far, absolutely loving this. This is better than Tog in my opinion so far. I have been reading away, absolutely smashing this book. I am enjoying it so much. It's like, you know, I can describe it as it's like a modern day fantasy. Pretty sure that's called something. Is it an urban fantasy? Is that what the genre is? I'm pretty sure it's like an urban fantasy, but it's like got a murder mystery element to it, and I'm a fan. I really like it. Can I guarantee that I have listened and taken in every single part of it? No. Do we understand the different kind of types of, I don't want to say creature, but creature, people go into each of the houses? No. That's kind of gone over my head a little bit because that was very many hundreds of pages ago. And I'm just kind of being like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm just taking it at face value, okay? But I'm really enjoying it. I am actually at chapter 52, which is 475 pages through. I've read 475 pages of my book today. I think that's the most I've ever read in one day, I think. So I'm pretty pleased with myself right now. We're currently at 14 hours, 56 minutes and 55 seconds, which puts us, what time is it now? Can I see it on there? 5 to 8. So I am going to be reading until 11 PM. I'm about to head back on live now. I had a little change of scenery because I felt like I was just literally sitting in the same place all day and I just couldn't cope with it. So I went downstairs and I read on my Kindle. I got my Kindle stand out of the loft, especially with my little page turner. And so I read downstairs while I ate my tea. And it was lovely. It was great. But now I'm going to go back on TikTok Live and we're going to read for the last 3 hours of the day. I do need a break every now and then though. So I do end up, well, I do think that I will probably go over 11 PM with the breaks that we'll have. Anyway, by the by, that's boring. I'm going to try and get to 12 hours left so that I can start tomorrow. My issue is that I started too late today. Started too late. So I'm going to get up earlier tomorrow and start earlier because we also have things to do tomorrow. The main thing that I was doing this kind of challenge for was to try and get the love of reading back, and I can say that is definitely happening. I am really enjoying this. It's really fun. I'm so glad that I did it, and I don't feel pressure necessarily. Like, I like a little bit of pressure. I like a bit of a challenge. I like something to kind of spur me on to something, but I also don't like too much pressure. So I feel like I can't just do what I want. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like this kind of perfect thing in the middle. And for some reason, this is really hitting the spot. So we're going to carry on. I'm definitely not going to finish this book today, but I know at the start I did say that my Kindle said I had 22 hours of reading this book. That was a lie. I realised I just opened the Kindle book and just took it at face value, when obviously it takes a minute to figure out how quickly you're going to read it. So like I say, I am at 450 pages. It says, so I'm at 60% and it says I've got 5 hours 23 minutes left of the Kindle book. I'm really enjoying immersively reading. It's the first time I've ever done it. The only thing sometimes is I feel like my eyes go a bit crazy, which gave me a headache earlier, so we're not going to be able to read with all the lights and stuff on. At this point I'm just waffling, but it's just because I'm so excited, because I feel like I've got that fire back, you know? So anyway, we're going to carry on reading and then we'll see where we get up to by the end of the 12 hours today. That's the next time that I will update you as to how I'm doing. this is going to be the quickest update because I did the 12 hours. I am so tired. I fully need to go to bed. I am about to collapse. But 650 pages were read and I absolutely loved it. Such a good time, and I am excited to finish this book tomorrow. So I love Bryce and Hunt. Like, I just think they are so cute. I'm loving this kind of slow burn energy, and I've just got to a part where I'm like, my jaw has just hit the floor. Did not expect that. What the hell? And I'm like, I am not okay. I will say it's kind of giving me Zodiac Academy energy. I'm not sure if it's because I'm listening to the audiobook with the narrators that were the narrators for Zodiac. I'm not sure. But yeah, so far I'd say it's like a 4-star, but we've got 150 pages left, and Sarah J Maas has a habit of wreaking absolute chaos in those pages, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Good morning! It is now Sunday, which is day 2 of this 24-hour readathon. Today we are going to be reading the last 12 hours. However, spoiler alert, I have already been reading this morning. I have actually finished House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas, and it's so good. I really enjoyed this. I rated it 4.5 stars. So good. And immersively audioing it was the best decision I could have made because the dramatised audios are just on another level. I think my decision to go into it not trying to retain all of the information about the world building was the best idea, because I didn't get bogged down with it and it didn't then affect my experience reading it. I just kind of went with the flow and figured it out as I went along, which I liked. And it didn't really come up an awful lot because you just had to remember who was who. There were a lot of people mentioned, but again, if they're side characters, do I really need to know their name other than just what they did? Not really. So yeah, it was great. The only thing I would say is that because I was reading it for 12 hours solid yesterday, like barely having any breaks, I started way too late. I started at 10 AM, which was a mistake, but because of that I couldn't break very often because it was just going to push the time on and on and on for my finish time, and I'm not very good at going to bed very late. I found that because I wasn't having breaks, it was a little bit, I can't think of the right word, but like it took a lot of brain power. My brain didn't have any time off, and I think it would have been better if I'd have broken it up with another book maybe, or if I'm going to do like a 24-hour readathon like this, go for something that's maybe a bit lighter, swap and change between maybe a fantasy and a romance, or do it in a way where I've got more time so that I can break in between them, because I do think that I probably missed a couple of bits because my brain wasn't fully engaged towards the end of the night last night. I found myself having to like reread things a couple of times, which meant it took me longer than I thought, but again, I don't really care about that. We actually have 8 hours and 16 minutes left on the clock. With that being said, again, we've got 8 hours left. I don't really want to be in the same situation that I was yesterday, so I am going to have a little bit of a break before I go into the next Crescent City book, and instead we are going to read The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. Now, I do have the audiobook for this one, and I do want to audiobook today because I have a couple of errands that I need to run and I need to pack for my holiday so that I know if I need to buy anything very last minute. So I'm going to be able to audio whilst I'm doing that. Also, the main reason that I want to start audioing is because I really feel like colouring. I tried a little bit yesterday, but it was difficult with Crescent City because I had to kind of concentrate on what was going on a lot more. So I only got this far yesterday, but I want to kind of maybe see if I can get a little bit of that finished or just progress it a little bit more. And then towards the end of the day, I will continue reading it in the physical version potentially. I don't think this is going to take very long. I think this is maybe going to take about 7 hours, so I'll have just over an hour or so left this evening. So we'll see what I pick then. It might be House of Sky and Breath, who knows? I'm not sure if House of Sky and Breath is a direct continuation of House of Earth and Blood, because it kind of finishes on very like finished point. So I haven't really looked into the series. I don't know if it's a direct continuation or if I'm going to have to start getting used to some more people. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, I've got about an hour left, I reckon, after I finish this book for us to pick something else and see how we get on. So yeah, I'm going to quickly dry my hair and then audiobook, get on with some errands, and I will come back when I am colouring and show you how I get on. doing colouring most of the afternoon and I have had a great time. I have been listening to The Graham Effect and I'm now at 52%, so I have absolutely smashed that, if I do say so myself. We do have 3 hours 35 minutes left on the clock, which is going to take me to, what does it say, 23 minutes past 10, and I will have some breaks before the end because I'm going to be going on TikTok live, so I'll be chatting to people every now and then. My plan is to switch over to the physical now and read the rest of it. How many pages is this? So I'm at page 250 and it's 489. So I'm just over halfway, 250 pages to go, 3.5 hours to go. Don't know if that maths is mathsing and whether we'll finish it or not, but I'll update you once I finished. This is the last update before we finish this challenge and we reflect on whether it's done what we wanted to do, you know? So once again, let's get reading. And we finished, look! Woohoo! I actually did it! Oh my god, right, this has been a ride. It has been a ride. I cannot wait to give you the full lowdown. However, it's gonna have to be in the morning because it's currently 11 PM and it's a school night. So yeah, I'll fill you in the morning. But this book, insane. So good. So good. What have you got? What have you got? It's now the next day and we're going to break down this readathon because I had the best time. Honestly, it was so much fun. I finished The Graham Effect last night and this is a 5-star read for me. This book was so much fun. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. It gave me the feeling that I had when I first read the Off Campus series, and that to this day is still my favourite Elle Kennedy series that I've read. And I've read Off Campus, Briar U and the Avalon Bay series. This is so good. I love the fact that we had Garrett Graham in there again and Hannah, and this book is centred around Gigi Graham, their daughter, and so you get elements of them back in the story which made it 10 times better. You've also got Gigi Graham, who she is an absolute girl boss. She's a hockey player herself. Then you have Luke Ryder, who is a male hockey player for Briar U, so it's set back at Briar U University. Briar U? The U is university. It's set back at Briar U, and Gigi's on the female team and Luke is on the male team. And their relationship is so cute. It had me giggling, kicking my legs, literally had me smiling throughout so much of this book. And the other thing as well is that I didn't expect it to get as dark as it did in places. I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? Are we okay? It was just so good. It was just so good. So much so, in fact, that even though I was going to go and read House of Sky and Breath next, Teddy with his toy. He's got his little caterpillar toy and is chewing a little squeaker. But even though I was going to go and read House of Sky and Breath next, I've actually decided that I'm going to go straight into The Dixon Rule, which is book 2 in the series. So I'm going to start this instead because I just want to carry on with this feeling. That is my plan. Now, in terms of the readathon, and the reason that I did it was to try and fall back in love with reading again and to take the pressure off and just enjoy it. And I have to say it did exactly that. I enjoyed every minute of it, even when on day 1 in the first 12 hours, because I was reading this chunk of a book and it is a fantasy. It's kind of heavy on the, you know, needing to concentrate, that kind of thing. I did find that I was having to reread sections because I was trying to concentrate so much, you know, after having to engage my brain for so long, but I still enjoyed it regardless, and so that was good. And that's why I did decide to go to a romance after I finished it on the second day, because I thought I need something a little bit lighter. Sorry if you can hear Teddy and his toy. He's having a great time, you know. Gotta let a guy live with his caterpillar. Let me just see if I can show you. What have you got there, Ted? What's that? You're squeaking that toy. Anyway, like I was saying, the aim was to just find that enjoyment. It wasn't to read a certain amount. It wasn't to try and read as much as I could. You know, like even at times yesterday, I slowed the audiobook down so that I could take it in a little bit more, and I could, because I did some colouring and I found that I needed to kind of just slow it down a little bit so that it wasn't so fast, so that I could kind of take it in. And I was like, it doesn't matter how long it takes me to read these. It really doesn't. And I read 1,200 pages. I think it's like 1,287 pages over the 2 days. And yes, there there are people out there that probably read more, be people out there that would read less, and it really doesn't matter. And I think that's the thing that I wanted to find when I did this challenge, and I found it. And I am very tempted to make this more of a regular thing because I really do feel like it helped me. So yeah, I am really, really, really happy. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if this kind of content is something that you like, then maybe consider pressing that subscribe button. If you got to this point in the video, pop the blood drop emoji for House of Earth and Blood. Pop the little blood emoji in the comments and let me know if you would ever do a 24-hour readathon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.